everybody. Today Gina Young is going to show you all how easy it is to make your pork tenderloin taste absolutely amazing. It's going to be juicy. It's going to be packed with so much flavor, and you're going to love this here recipe. Here's what you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need the pork tenderloin. Now, there's a pork tenderloin and there's a pork loin. The loin is just one big piece that's about like this size, okay? Now the tenderloins, 2 of them always come in a packet, and this is what they look like. I have rinsed them off using some lime juice, some salt and cold water, and we just kind of rub that salt and that lime juice on it and then pat it dry with a paper towel. So we've done that. We're going to serve it with couscous today because couscous is the best. Yeah, it is. And you're going to need the required water. This usually takes like 1 1/4 cup of water or broth. I'm going to put some butter and some Parmesan cheese in it, okay? And we have some beef broth that we may use, okay? I have a really interesting ingredient. Today I'm not using honey on my pork tenderloin. A lot of times you'll see me use honey, or sometimes you'll see me use like a peach preserve. Not today. We're doing ketchup, and it gives a really interesting taste. Okay, so now we have some salt, some soy sauce, oyster sauce, some black pepper, garlic, and onion powder. Make sure your hands are clean. Let me show you how to make a pork tenderloin. The first thing we're going to do after washing a pork tenderloin off, I have a clean, dry paper towel. You just want to pat it real good, okay? Get rid of some of that extra water, all right? Because it'll happen, or juice, so to speak. Let's get rid of all of that, okay? Now, if you want to coat this in some oil, absolutely you can. There's times that I do it, but you don't have to, okay? So once we got it nice and dry, we're going to season it, and we're not going to be afraid to season it. Because if you're that person that's afraid to season it, it'll be flavorless, right? We're going to go right in with salt and throw you some salt along the sides, too. You want every piece of this beautiful meat to have good taste, right? Sure you do. Okay, so now we're going to go in with garlic and onion powder. And see, like I said, get it on the sides. We'll flip it over and season that other side. And what I want you all to do, this is onion powder. Season with the seasonings that you love, okay? So you can enjoy it. All right, garlic and onion powder and the salt. We're going to go in with some black pepper, and we're going to put a nice amount on there, okay? Let's flip it over, do the same thing. Do it. Happy weekend. Happy weekend. Is anybody doing anything special? Are you making anything special for dinner or for dessert? I want to hear from everybody. Let's go ahead and dab this other side very well. But in the meantime, I'm heating this pan up. I mean, I want this pan to get really hot. We're not aiming to cook it when we put it in here. We just want to get a nice sear onto it. And that sear that we get onto is going to lock in all them juices. So when it goes in the oven, oh, that baby going to be juicy. Let's go ahead and lay both of our tenderloins into a pan. I did put some paprika on there. We're going to season this other side. And we're looking for a nice char, like just a golden brown color to lock in the juices. So we'll be back after we give it a nice turn over. Our tenderloins get a nice sear onto them. Let's go ahead and make up some couscous, because couscous is good. If you've never tasted couscous with like raisins or golden raisins in here, you can put like sliced almonds in here. Have fun with couscous because it's amazing. But a lot of people like to ask me what it tastes like. Well, to me it kind of tastes like rice, but it also tastes like a pasta. And it's these little tiny pearl balls that taste so good. So this is the Parmesan flavor, and there's a lot of flavor in here, but I add a little bit more flavor. It asks for 1 1/4 cup of water, of course, so it's in there. I put me some chicken bouillon powder in, that's plenty enough. And when this is done, I'm gonna put some Parmesan cheese in it. The kind that I like to use is the kind that comes out of the shaker bottle. I'm gonna put a 1/2 stick of butter. Let this come up to a boil before we even put the couscous in. Time to turn over those pork tenderloins. We'll address those here in just a second. In the meantime, the water and the butter is nice and, it's at a boil. Put that beautiful seasoning in there. And don't forget to put a little chicken bouillon powder in. Okay, so let's stir that around. Put your couscous pearls in. These are not the big pearls. There's some big ones that you can get, but I don't want those. I like the little tiny ones, okay? And give it a nice stir, just like this. We're going to cover it, and then you turn the heat off. What we're looking for is a really dark color. Oh yeah, that's it. That right there, that means it's going to taste good. Trust me on that one. Oh my goodness. Yes. It looks gorgeous, but we're not done because the inside is completely raw. 425 degrees is what you're going to put your oven on, and you're going to cook it for 35 minutes. And it's going to be perfectly done in the inside. When I talk about juicy, we talk about flavor. We're going to get this in the oven. Don't cover it. If you cover it, you'll just steam it and it just won't do what it's supposed to do. So 425 degrees, and then I'm going to show you a quick sauce that we're going to make, because when this is like 10 minutes away from being done, we're going to paint this, like brush this lovely sauce on that tastes so good. One more thing, I'm sorry about that. We're going to put us a tiny bit of beef broth in here, just a little to get it going. Not enough to cover it. You know, you're not bringing it halfway up the meat, just that little bit, okay? Beautiful. Let's check in on our couscous. It only takes about 5 to 7 minutes for it to absorb, you know, the liquid and the butter. Okay, and then you come back. This is what it's going to look like in your pan. Just take a clean fork and you fluff it up. This right here, oh my goodness, y'all, it's one of my favorites, and I'm going to be honest with you. When I make couscous, really, I should always be making 2 boxes, because I can eat 1 box alone. I'm not going to, and I never had, but it is just that good. So this is when I put the Parmesan in, not a whole lot, keeping in mind that Parmesan does have some salt in it. So just that little bit will do. Kind of mix it around and cover it up until you're ready to eat. Good stuff here. So typically, I will put like some type of glaze, maybe a peach preserve and honey glaze on top. We're not going to do that today. We're using ketchup. And is it going to make it taste like ketchup? Absolutely not. And I can promise you that one, right? So let's get some ketchup into a bowl. You know, just enough that we can coat our beautiful pork tenderloins, your favorite ketchup. We're going to put some soy sauce. So the soy sauce, you know, it has salt in it. Although this is a lower sodium one, but it still has that saltiness. So it kind of breaks up the sweetness that the ketchup has. Okay, so let's get some of that in there. About that much. All right. And then we're going to put just a tablespoon of oyster sauce. No, it's not going to make it taste like oysters, right? This gives it that umami factor. Make them say, ooh, mommy. They will every time. So now we mix this up. This is the sauce. It tastes great. You want to put your little bit of mustard in there or honey, you can. And I got a silicone brush. 10 minutes before this is getting ready to come out the oven, we're going to take it and we're going to paint it all over the top and throw it back in the oven. And something happens with this sauce. It gets really good on that pork. Took the meat out of the oven. It's only got 10 more minutes to cook. And so now we can paint on our beautiful like glaze sauce, whatever you want to call it. I call it delicious, right? You can paint it onto the sides if you want. Just like this, back into the oven for 10 minutes. And then when we come back, we're going to let it set with foil on top of it just so it can rest and all the juices can kind of redistribute and not, you don't want the juices to run out when you cut it. If you cut it too early, that's what will happen. So you definitely want to let it rest. Let's get this back into the oven. I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and cut into it. We let it rest for about 10 minutes. I am so excited. By far, this is definitely one of my favorite ways to make pork. Pork tenderloin. Now there's a difference between the pork loin and the tenderloin. The tenderloin is what it says. It's more tender than just the pork loin. So, you know, whichever one you want to do. But I also have videos showing you how to make the pork loin if you're looking for that, you know. So we're going to slice it and then we're just going to kind of shingle it, make it look gorgeous on a plate. This right here, you're going to love it. You hear me? Look at this. I know. So beautiful. And, you know, like if you made vegetables for today, potatoes or whatever, put it alongside, put the meat in the middle, and it just serves up very gorgeous. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you ain't subscribed, what you waiting on? Tell your family and friends. Tell the world what Gina's doing every single day in this kitchen. And Father, on today, thank you for this meal. Amen. Amen. Once again to my prayer, stay tuned and we're going to taste it. But I'm just doing a very small plate because I want to sit down with my family and eat. But I got to taste it for y'all. The couscous and the pork tenderloin. Oh my goodness. The couscous is amazing. There's so much flavor. All right. I'll grab my fork here. Oh, it cut like butter. Did y'all just see that? Oh, I'm going in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm.